Good
Thanks so
afternoon.
much for being with us today on The House.
It's our pleasure.
We're very excited to be talking to you. So today we'd like to talk about Ryan the man and not the Grand Land masterman, right? So
Okay.
if you're ready, we'd like to start.
Sure.
Right? Which is the one question you've been asked over the years, and which question is that you're sick of answering? Like you're sick and tired of answering.
How much you've slimmed down?
How much you slimmed down? Okay, so then that's what we start with, right? How much have you slimmed down over the years, Ryan?
Not much.
Not much.
Actually, right now I lost around 12 pounds for a week.
In a week?
Yeah.
Is that because of work or?
I just came from the trade fair in Canton.
Oh, okay.
So a little bit of diet also. We're getting old, so it needs to be healthy.
Hey, talk for yourself. I'm not getting old. I'm going to be young forever and ever.
So I used to be slim. After I got married, I gained 50 pounds. But after that, it's really hard to get down.
It's happiness.
Yeah, probably.
Have you been married a long time?
Yeah, 21 years.
You've been married 21
years, yes.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
I've been married 9 months. And I feel like it's already really long.
Not really that long. Compared to my in-laws, they've been married for 50 years.
But sure, Canton Fair, is that something you go every year?
Almost every year.
Okay.
If I look for something new or some innovations, then
Do you go from a business standpoint or you do go from a personal curiosity standpoint? How
Both.
do you? Okay.
Both. I like exploring things.
But in today's world with technology, we have this conversation very often. What is work-life balance? I mean, we have our phones with us that maybe back in the day, 10 years ago, we couldn't work outside of office, but today you can be in the middle of anywhere and you will be working.
That's true.
So how does Ryan work in the world of technology?
I turn off my phone by 7 p.m.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's stressful.
Yeah?
It's stressful sometimes.
So you believe in the concept of working when it's
Yes.
time and then actually switching off?
You get addicted to your phone. Any email that will come in that you have to, it's like you don't think about it. You just want to answer it immediately. If you can't answer it, I don't know.
Otherwise, it's always at the back of your mind.
Yes, that's true.
So when you turn off your phone at 7 o'clock, when do you turn it back on the next day?
8 o'clock.
8 a.m.?
Yeah.
And what about the weekends? Do you turn that off? Or?
Same. Turn
7
it
to
off
8.
7 to 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
And
my wife keeps complaining that even though I'm driving, every time I see a text or I have to answer it. So I did it once in Davao. I got caught and I was penalized for 5,500 pesos.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you do this from like the point of being not distracted, or what are you trying to achieve?
Sometimes you get distracted. Sometimes you get the pressure of answering everything
Yeah.
at that instant. So right now I trying to learn to probably try to distance a bit. It's all right not to answer it.
And do you feel like that makes you make quicker decisions and something that's not thought through better, or is this just that?
And just take your time.
Yeah.
Think about it before answering.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your family also follows suit in this? Now, are they seeing you and are they like, yes, we should take our time?
Actually, it's my wife who keep telling me that not to answer it immediately, especially when I'm driving.
Is that something you would maybe tell the younger generation today who cannot live without, like, the phone is part of my life. Like, when my phone's not next to me, I get a little, like, itchy.
Yes,
like,
I think it's not good also to have your phone 24 hours with you.
Yeah.
So I think you get addicted. It's like an addiction also.
So we'd love to talk about your first job. It's very interesting to hear how you made your first peso.
My first job, I went into the family business.
Okay.
The family business was the ones funding my education in college.
Okay.
So it was a way of giving back. So I have no choice but to work in the family business. But before graduating college, I applied some jobs outside.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my dream job was really to be with Anderson Consulting.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I got accepted, but I declined it after.
Because you had to go join the family
Yeah.
business. It's not just real estate, right?
It's in the shipping industry.
The shipping
Yeah.
industry. So you did that for how long?
1994 to 2011.
Wow. Okay. And did you do all aspects of the business, or did you stick with one department?
Different departments, but I like fixing things.
You like fixing things?
Yes.
Okay.
So I like fixing problems. So eventually, I did a lot of sidelines in between, but I mean, it's hard to do it in a family business. So by 2011, I asked permission to go out and probably try my luck in the business world.
Yes.
So I did I did a lot of different business before I went into real estate. Real estate was more of a hobby. It's what we do with me and my wife. When we save some money, we buy a piece of land, build a house, have it rented. So it's much more of a rental pool for us.
Uh-huh.
It was good timing also that there were a lot of people from the real estate industry that we got to
On
help
board,
us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you always knew you would be an entrepreneur?
No, it's a discovery.
So entrepreneurship is this glorious thing that people talk about when you're successful, right? But there's
Yes.
so many dark sides to entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, especially right now with competitions are very hard.
Yeah?
Probably before being entrepreneur much easier compared to probably now it's much harder. For me, I mean, I encountered a lot of probably what they call it. It's not really disappointment, but I went into different business. Not to, I mean, it's not really that successful, but it helps you learn on what to do next. No, it's just probably it's how you look at things.
Yeah?
So sometimes failures also is one of your greatest teachers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's beautifully put, right? I feel like the hardest part of entrepreneurship that I feel like the world talks about today is failure.
Yeah.
But failure personally is a very difficult conversation to have. I mean, most driven people can't deal with failure easily.
But sometimes you don't get to practically apply it. It's different from probably learning when you fail, that you will really experience it.
Do you feel like a lot of failure makes you humble, or does it make you even more driven?
Both.
So it's
ways.
both?
Yeah.
So you feel like it's a good, if you take it in the right aspect, it makes you humble,
Yes.
and it gives you the drive.
The drive to do, I mean, to improve yourself.
The fact that it's just failure, it's
Yeah.
okay, it's
for
not
me,
that
for
bad.
me, every day is always a learning process. Even though, like here right now in the real estate business, all of the decision is not really 100%
Yeah?
doing good. No,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of probably how you react on probably the wrong decisions.
Yeah?
So probably one of the good things that probably for me, from what I've learned through the other business, is that every time I made something wrong, I tend to act and try to correct it immediately.
Do you feel, because there are different kinds of entrepreneurs and different kind of leaders, and there's never a right answer, sometimes there are people who are not reflective enough and cannot figure out what they did wrong, and they need a set of people to show them, and there are
That
some...
is true. That is true.
So what kind do you think you are? There are some who have to reflect
Sometimes
internally.
you don't notice your failures or your mistakes. It takes other people to tell you, oh, you're doing wrong.
Yeah?
But sometimes it's very hard for your ego sometimes to listen to other people, especially when you get much higher in the ladder.
Yeah?
But important for me right now is really from what I've learned. I mean, criticism sometimes make you better.
The world is ready to criticize you at the drop of a hat, right? Any second, there will be people saying, yes, I told you so. But so who do you take, like, yes, of course, your family. But apart from your family, how do you find the next set of people who can maybe
Even my
assure
employees,
you?
sometimes they told me, I look up to people, my employees, especially those who stand up against me.
Yeah?
Sometimes I get offensive, but I usually try to think it over.
Yeah?
Then if ever I think that I'm wrong, then I call him back and tell him, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And that's extremely important, right?
Yeah.
To have maybe your own team tell you, hey, something is going
I
wrong,
appreciate that better.
than people saying yes to everything.
Then probably I'm committing a mistake with people just saying yes to you even though it's already wrong.
Great. And how do you build that culture in your team? Like, how do you
It's
like,
part of our core values to be open.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
to speak up.
Great.
So it's part of my corporate core values that I insisted for my people in Grand Land.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult in a culture, especially in Asian cultures, I think, to build that confidence within your team that, hey, you don't have to say yes to everything I say.
Yes.
You have to say
If you
what
think
you
it's,
feel.
I mean, for me, every decision, it's not really 100% foolproof.
Yeah.
No, even though let's say it's 90% calculated risk, you still have that 10%. Anything can always happen. But for me, even though let's say if ever we make a wrong decision, the important thing is move on,
Yeah.
correct it,
Yeah.
and I think that's what made Grand Land survive for. I mean, we're a very young company, but so far right now we're doing very good in Cebu.
You are doing very well. You are
Yeah, I
doing
think
better
it's-
than very well.
I think that's one of the reasons behind it, that we tend to act fast and
Yeah.
I mean don't dwell on the mistakes of what we did wrong, and try to learn from it and correct it immediately as fast as possible.
Fantastic. And as an entrepreneur, especially because, like you said, Grandland's doing really well, and you need a certain kind of team to
Yes.
run with you.
Actually,
right?
I'm just lucky also to have a lot of good people around me.
I'm
very
sure there's a
supporting
strategy with which how you pick people. How do you identify the people you want to work with?
I look for people that are really willing to learn,
Mm-hmm.
willing to, I mean, to be more adventurous in their life, to try new things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I look on people. And also, I mean, of course, good qualities that they tend to work side by side with other people around them.
So as a leader, do you feel like you like keeping diverse people, or is it one kind of so willing to learn maybe?
I'm diverse.
Yeah. So
So
different age groups and different.
Different age group, different genders,
Yeah.
different class people.
And what do you think that brings to a team? I mean, that brings an active debate.
Yes, actually it's different. But for me, I always tell my people that, I mean, when you're in the company, it's the company you're working for is your second family.
Yeah.
So everything you have to treat it like it's like family.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
And I think that's it's always a people problem, right?
Yeah.
How do you keep the energy? How do you keep everybody happy at some level? You can't keep
So
everybody happy.
we have goals. So if ever we reach goals, we have parties.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that keeps everybody happy overall.
Yeah. So yeah, I also give incentives.
But what do you think as a leader, as a boss, as somebody leading a large team, what do you think is the hardest part of having to deal with a young team, a diverse team? What is the hardest thing? Maybe from experience.
Probably criticism.
But have you, like a lot of people want to learn and improve, right? A lot of people do not understand the importance of it. How do you deal with like team members like that?
I always encourage them to teach them to, I mean, to improve yourself.
Yeah.
No, I rather have people going out of the company because they find better opportunities, or
Yeah.
probably they improve themselves,
Yeah.
than probably sticking in one position for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I'd like to talk a little bit about Grand Land, because I think it is an important part of this whole journey and this conversation.
Yeah,
Grand Land started with Cebu, but now has got its roots in the Davao as well.
yeah.
How do you see this changing in maybe 10 years from now?
So one of our goals is probably making developments together with the mother company, probably side by side, to make, aside from them making malls, we're doing some residential developments anywhere where there is a Gaisano Grand.
Do you see the mixed use format coming even?
For me, it's actually it's the best format right now,
Yeah.
because like now as we're talking about traffic.
Traffic. Yeah.
Still mixed use right now. It's just, I mean, it's been proven already that it's the concept before, where you have this residential area in one place, business in the other place. It's much more expensive and much more time consuming. So right now it's really more of the mixed use, the live, work, and play area,
Yeah.
then putting it in several segments around the city.
But do you feel like when you're building a mixed use, the conversation is changing a little bit, right? It's not the big mixed use properties anymore. It's becoming smaller mixed use properties. Do you build it for a particular target audience, or do you build it for, again, a diverse audience?
No, actually, for us, it's still a particular target audience. It depends on also the location of the place.
I feel like I get a sense of your personality now, but I'd love to hear it from you. How do you think the world describes Ryan in one word?
People usually describe me as a nice guy. So
A
it's
nice guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and how would Ryan describe Ryan?
Hard work.
Hard work. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show with us
Thank
today.
you.
It was great having a
Nice
conversation
meeting you
with
also.
Thanks.